This is Damon Stevens of FinWealth Builders. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2022, and this is stock market update for our trades of the day. So great market, interesting opening. We gapped down at the open and then we climbed all the way back up to positive territory. At least we did for this S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Dow Jones closed down a little bit, but close to flat. But we're back up to the same resistance area again. So the question is, are we consolidating or are we getting ready for a breakout here possibly? But we are at resistance. Remember that we are in a bear market as well. So we could get rejected here again and just kind of go back and forth. But we'll get into the charts and show you what's going on. Take a look at the market, see what we need to do for planning out the next day here tomorrow on Wednesday. So look in the Dow Jones, we closed down 0.42%, NASDAQ up 1.75%, and S&P 500 up 0.16%. Really, the tech stocks is where the money was flowing into. Energy was weak. Obviously, across the board, you see a lot of weakness. Tech was definitely the dominator of the market today. Looking at our small caps too, you don't see anything really hitting the small caps or any large percentages there. So we did not trade any of those today. Looking at our little roadmap here on our news, as we head into the rest of this week here, tomorrow, not really big things that we see on the list except for FOMC meeting notes at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So that could possibly swing the market for the afternoon. So just be careful in the late day. If there is anything that kind of shocks the market, there could be some volatility at the end of the day. And then going into Thursday, we have not jobless claims. So that could be affect something. And then also on Friday, we have non-farm payrolls, unemployment rates, and other things that could definitely affect the market. So Thursday, Friday, really the big days. But the end of the day, Wednesday's possibility with this FOMC meeting notes coming out. Looking at our puts, calls and puts on S&P 500. Let's see, let's do an update here real quick. We'll do this live so that you can kind of see what's going on. So current stock price at close at 381.02. You can see the call put ratios. There's 2 puts for every call. So definitely a lot of downside still expected. In fact, this has gone up now. So that means people are expecting a rejection and the market to come down a lot further this week as the week closes out. Now, max pain is 380, so that's just $1 below where we're at right now. That would shut down, pretty much, people who are going long on the market and a lot of the shorts if we just stay put kind of where we're at. If we do collapse, obviously people who are short in the market are definitely going to get hurt and the market's going to collect on that money. But if we go long, there's a possibility for here, but this is 412. Not likely you're going to see that, but there's quite a few calls up there, quite a few contracts up in this high area here. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the market's got to stay at where it's at right now if it wants to make it painful for everybody. So we'll see what happens. So just be careful if you are out there, if you're doing calls or puts, short in the market going long, just be careful with your sizing, especially with the market right now. Because we're kind of right at a decision point, obviously, right here today. So looking at the ES 500, the futures, S&P 500 E-mini futures live right now, you can see it looks like we closed the day positive above our resistance line, and then we just got above my next resistance line here, which is at 38.43, hovering above that 100-day moving average. So do we gap up tomorrow? It's possible, but if we can hold in this area for a couple of days, it's likely that we could go up to test this 3,900 and start to go up this breakup candle, the breakdown candle here. And you see we're kind of still below it. So we just got a little ways, 38.50, and we'll hit that candle. And a lot of stocks like to climb these candles. So just something to be aware of that we could possibly get into a very bullish momentum, but we obviously are probably going to find some rejection at some point along the way. But this is a strong movement here. So we'll see if we get up there. We're just hovering right below it. If not, fake out rejection here where we're at by tomorrow morning. We can start to pull down this breakup candle. And so we'll see what happens. But this was a very strong move today. See what happens in the morning. So just watch that. Be careful. Like over the weekend, the futures and Bitcoin were looking great. And then middle of the night, they dropped like rocks. But then they, rallied back up today. So lots of movement going on, a lot of volatility. So just be careful out there if you're trading. Looking at the 1-day chart, you can see here just hovering below the 20-day moving average on a 1-day chart. So we really got to get above that. We're right at the top of these candles. So we got to chase up this candle here, break out, and then we can start to go to new highs. If not, we could consolidate possibly around these candles here. If we do not get up above and close above these candles and the 20-day moving average at 38.63. Looking at Google, awesome day today, really good day. We talked about that a lot of these stocks were closing at the top of the candle, which made them very bullish for the movement today. So you can see here that nice rally engulfed all these the last 3 days of trading and got right into this candle and above the 20-day and right almost towards the 50. So we'll see if we can chase up here, get above this 50. If we do get above this 23.15 and hold, we could rally up here. But we did see rejection before, so we do have some work to do to get above these areas, because you see we've been rejected twice. So we'll see if we can rally up here. But really a strong day for Google. So we'll see if we get continuation play tomorrow. Amazon engulfed the last 3 days as well, and right at the top of this other candle here. So if we can get a hold above this candle, break up, 50-day moving average is next on the list. So get about 118, 119. Apple took out the last 3 days as well, but we're still below this candle. We got to really break above this 143 area to rally towards 146. If not, we could just end up in a consolidation pattern here. NVIDIA, nice little rally up, engulfed this last trading day, but still has a long way to go after making a new low today. So we'll see if we can hold it. If not, it could break back down and head to lows again. But if not, maybe we can get a rally up here, and maybe this is a bottom here, at least a temporary bottom for NVIDIA. It's not by any of our, lower deviation bands. We're kind of in the middle, so that makes it a little more volatile, a little more risky, high risk. So if you're not in NVIDIA already, just be careful if you're trading into it, because it very well could get rejected here and bounce down again here. So just be careful on that one. Meta, looking at it, 1-day chart here, just an explosion, took out the last 3 days. Really, if it was up here a little higher, it engulfed the, this whole area. We're still below these candles here, so we really got to get above this 20-day moving average. So we get above 170, we can rally. If we get rejected right here, we could possibly pull back down here, as we have, a few times now. Looking at Tesla, nice rally up. Got above, we talked about getting above 700. It was above 700 here for a little bit, right at that 20-day moving average. So we'll see tomorrow if we can get a rally. If we can get above 700 and start to rally up, hopefully we can get to at least 720, 740, and maybe towards the top of this candle, and then we'll see some resistance there. If we do not get above the 20-day, look for a retest back down. But we did engulf 3 of the last trading days, so it's very likely that this could break out here. So look for that from Tesla. If you have not subscribed, definitely subscribe. Also go to finwealthlive.com and you get access to our free Discord, where we post trades of our day before the market opens with the entrance and exit pricing for each stock. We also have some free training there at finwealthlive.com. So check it out, join our community, and let's make some money together. Looking at the dollar just had a wonderful day today. Boy, exploding to new highs here, over 106.50, just really explosive here. And you can see that we kind of held that right now. So we're still up there. So maybe we can make additional highs here, but the dollar really strong right now. Gold dropped off because of the dollar. Gold's real weak. It just dropped down, clear down here to these prior support levels down here. So obviously we're holding right here. But if we don't hold this area, we could possibly come down to these next lower prices down here. Really, hopefully we get support at this 1750 area. If not, then we got our lower deviation bands. So we're down to 1684. So gold not looking too good still right now. US oil, big, huge drop today. So we came down and we kind of busted through my support line here at 74.22, then got back above it, and we kind of closed above that. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. See if we end up just, basically becoming range bound in this area. We do break that support level. Now you got the 20-day, 200-day moving average here at 69 down here. So that's a possibility since we're already below the 100. So really the goal is to really kind of hold this level, get back above the 100 and start to rally back up. The VIX, really volatile today. It really looks like it's flat right now, but it's just kind of moved both directions, both extremes here throughout the day. So we'll see. It's got to stay down here and get back below the 25 really to rally. But to do that, again, like we said, we're in this wedge, and the wedge is getting tighter and tighter. At some point, it's going to either break down out of this wedge or break up. Hard to say right now what it is. Right now, before it was hugging, obviously, the bullish side, and then lately it's been hugging the bearish side. So, but it could go either direction. So just be aware that right now we're hugging the bearish side of it, which is good for the market. But at any moment, this could, find support, continue to find support here at the 100, bounce off, rally up, and then that would bring the market down, possibly to new lows. So the SPY, S&P 500, see here we close at the top of this candle, engulfed the last 3 days again. Got to really get above this, 385 area to rally up. So it's possible we get there tomorrow, or we could get rejected and pull back down, or become range bound possibly, because you can see we spent some time here, this 380.54, and we had some gaps up here. So we kind of in that same area. So we obviously could get stuck here or get rejected off that 20-day. So definitely watching for that either gap up tomorrow or a pullback or consolidation. Looking at the weekly chart, just to give you an idea. So here's what's interesting about the weekly chart. We talked about this in our prep video for this week, as we could chase all the way back down this candle. We almost did, but we also found support here on the bottom of our deviation band and rallied up to the inside of this candle. So now that we're inside this candle, question is tomorrow, I'm wondering if we're going to rally back up here towards this 390 area and just chase this candle back up and fill that all the way in. So that's a possibility that we could, fill this candle in and get more bullish. We could also break down, but right now, at least for today and where we're at right now, it looks like it more bullish than it does bearish. Look at triple Qs right below the 20-day, so really bullish, although we didn't get above the 20-day. So, hope we can get above this 288 area. If we can rally up, maybe even close some of these gaps up here. If not, we could become range bound, even though we engulfed these last 3 days of trading. Semiconductors were that's really weak. They put new lows in, but rallied up here, back into the area of this candle. So we'll see if we can chase up that candle, head back towards that 200 level. If we break back below 194, could possibly be moving back towards the lows or put in new lows. IWM daily charts. You can see here we kind of engulfed those 3 days. Under the 20-day, got to break above 174 to rally. If we're not, break down below 167.50, and we're coming back down to lows. Otherwise, it looks like it could be range bound. There's quite a few candles in this area. Financials, either again range bound, or we got to get above this top of this candle here. So top of that candle, really get up 32, and then we could break out. We'll have resistance, just over 32 at the 20-day, but above that we can rally from there. Otherwise, we might be range bound, or if we break below those candles at 31, coming back down to possibly the $30 area. Looking at healthcare, again, like we talked about in the video, just consolidating here in this little range. So until we find some direction, either above the 200-day or below the 20, we're going to be range bound on healthcare. Energy sector, again, like we talked about, pull down. We talked about this in the video prep too. We could come down here and tag that 200, and that's exactly what we did. As we came down, tagged the 200, bounced off of it. We did find some support. See if we can hold that. If we break the 200 at $68, we could be coming down towards 64 or lower. So just something to keep in mind there if you're trading the energy sector. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin was great. I mean, this weekend it was great. It got moved $1,000 on Saturday, which is great. And then checked it, or actually that was Monday, and then Monday morning, or Tuesday morning, I checked this morning just before the market was opening. I was like, wow, what a turnaround. Everything was looking great for the market. Futures were up, Bitcoin was up, and overnight they just came right back down, tested those lows again, trying to rally back up here. So that's good, almost to the top of this candle again. So trying to rally back up after that drop off. So, I mean, if you caught both sides of that, that's great. I did not catch both sides, but if you did, you had a great trading day, because you had the weekend, you had the ups and the downs and the back up again. So that chop, if you're getting the top and bottoms of that range, can be very profitable. Looking at Ethereum, see here, just kind of consolidating here under the 20. Really got to get above this 11 to 84, 85 area to kind of rally up. Otherwise, we're kind of range bound. And you see, we spent a lot of time down here. So we could be down here for a long time if we can't get some momentum going. So Ethereum, pretty well flat at this point. So that's our stocks, our cryptos, everything that's we're looking at in the market. As you're going into your trade tomorrow, just make sure you watch for volatility. We're at resistance. We could get rejected here, but if we break above yesterday's close and a rally up, we could have a nice ride for the next day or so. So just keep that in mind. Stay safe out there. We'll talk tomorrow night, see how the trades went. And again, if you haven't already, get on our Discord. You can get the link at finwealthlive.com. Everybody have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.